How will you solve it? The CTO of the Navy is basically saying, we have been really slow in the past. We want to make it easier for people to work with the military and not just have like the same systems we've always done. There was this thesis written by the CTO of Palantir, who's now joined the Army, very pro-military kind of vibes, but he talked about the history of defense contractors, and he shows this, how basically since the Cold War ended, there's this interesting graph showing how what used to be something like 90 companies was completely consolidated into these 5.
Jesus. Dude, being something about getting mad at the military industrial complex consolidating because of like capitalism, like because of that playing out, because of is insane to me. Like coming out, it's like, we need more industrial competition in the military. It's like, maybe you do in like an economic sense, but I just think this is really funny. It's
wait, why?
I'll steel man it.
Yeah, that's the point I'm making. Is I think it's actually a very good thing. So let me finish the point. So there's 5 of these companies now that constitute the majority of the military spending, and as we've talked about, and I'm sure most people are aware, there is enormous waste and inefficiency with these defense contractors.
Yes.
They just go to the government. They're like, hey, we're going to charge you $15,000 for a soap dispenser and $10 million for this jet. They do cost. Yeah. And the government's like, sure. They do cost plus, which is basically the government will pay whatever it costs to make it plus 15% or whatever. So it incentivizes these companies to do things
to take forever,
as slow and as expensive as possible. So you have these incredibly slow, inefficient companies that we pay for as taxpayers. It's fucking ridiculous. And basically over the last 3-ish decades, they have just entrenched themselves in this position where they just get tons and tons and tons of government money coming in, paying them, and then there's no accountability for them to do a better job.
And no competition. There's only 5 of them, right? So you can't be like, all right, who's going to give me the best deal on this tank? Because like they work with each other to split up the few things they work on, and you can't go anywhere else as the government. My dad has worked in the military, and he has been in charge of on a really small scale like cost procurement, and like you often have 1 or 2 options for a thing, and they can charge you whatever the hell they want. And you, and you don't have a lot. You can't be like, I'll go to this guy then. I'll go elsewhere. There's not someone else. The government can't do it themselves, and there's not 15 different companies that are actually bidding. The bids are not competitive, and so it leads to at every level the military overpaying for everything. I mean, you said this, but like
I do agree with this part. This is the irony more to me is in a world of like commerce in the United States where we're so many industries have consolidated further and further, and there's more monopolization around. It's funny of all things to start with the military of addressing the problem of like we can't get good antitrust action in this country, but the plan or like this effort being put towards this being the starting point is just it's just funny. That's it, but it's not something it's not something that's valuable. And I want to clarify here. It's like I'm at war here internally, not a pun, of pragmatist me versus idealist me of I don't want it's hard for me to stand behind the further development of things that support the defense industry in America, and that is an ethical problem within itself, but pragmatically understanding that America's defense industry and military is not going to disappear overnight.
Right.
Yes, I would like there to be more competition to help reduce costs in a capacity that is similar to us reducing healthcare costs.